The film starts in October 1972, where a rugby team is going to another country by plane for a match. Many of them were going out of the country for the first time. Some players' family members also came with them. As soon as the plane took off, it reached the snowy areas. But suddenly their plane started shaking violently. Then suddenly there is a snowstorm there, due to which the plane starts going down uncontrollably. But still, the pilots tried to remove the plane from such a terrible storm. But the plane was not coming under control. So all the things inside start falling here and there. But suddenly the plane collides with a very big stone, due to which it broke into two parts. In a while, the front part of the plane also collides with the snow. Due to this, all people fall forward violently. The luggage also scattered. And because of this incident, many people die on the spot. After a while, those people who were absolutely safe, they take out the stuck people. It was a stressful environment. There was blood everywhere. But here everyone dared to take care of each other. Now two girls open the cabin and go to the pilot, who was also in a very bad condition. And the next moment he also dies. As soon as it gets dark, the temperature also starts falling rapidly. Because they were in a bad condition due to the cold, so they cover the big hole of the plane with luggage and dead bodies. They go inside and hide to save themselves from the cold. Everyone was very sad due to this incident. Some were screaming due to fear. But the rest somehow supported them. The next morning when he woke up, he saw that 4 to 5 more people had died due to the cold. By now the storm had also stopped. So they came out. But not far away, except for the snow, nothing else could be seen. Also, this place was also very low. And she didn't know that I don't know how long we were stuck here. So she started arranging to stay alive. She checked all the bags and luggage, collected food and necessary things from there. After finishing all her work, she sat down at the same place. She was given food which she does eat. But at the same time she was worried that we have a little food. Who knows how long we will have to scream. Now suddenly a plane starts passing from there. A hope arose in these people. That's why they start screaming loudly. So that the plane stops after hearing their voice. But it didn't help. Because the plane was very far away. So he just left from there. Now on the third day, a girl, Nando, regained consciousness. Nando's condition was very bad. His face was also ruined. But still, he goes to his sister. His sister's condition was also very bad. When Nando asks him about his mom and dad, he finds out that he has died. So both the brothers and sisters are very sad. Now they needed water to drink. So they melt the ice and make its water. They drink and survive. Also, they made an X mark outside the bag, so that whoever passes through here sees this mark. So they understand that people are stuck here who need help. Now the next day another plane came. But even that could not help them, because it was very far away. So these people understood that the government does not know where we are right now. That's why the government is sending the planes to different places instead of sending them here. Because they do not know the exact location of these people. Now they remembered that there were some batteries in the last part of the plane. So it is possible that with their help, we could play the radio of the plane, which is broken at the moment. So now because of this, they wanted to find that part. As soon as they went up a little, they saw that our plane is destroyed. That place is not visible from here. So this is the reason that no plane has seen us. It is obvious that no one can help us for this reason. Now the snow on top began to slip. So they decided to return. Now such days passed. And after a week, all their food is finished. Now in this area, there were no animals and no trees and plants, which they can eat and survive. That's why they eat the crows stuck on the stones and survive. But its taste was also very bitter. Nando says that if I had to eat the flesh of the dead, I would eat that too. Some people agreed with him, while some people argued with each other about this. At 7:15 p.m., their hunger increased so much that they started eating their shoes, their laces, even cigarettes. Now the next morning, as soon as Nando saw that his sister had also died, he was very sad that after mom died, today my sister also died. Seeing this, a boy became very sad. He writes a letter to his mom and dad. So it's been 21 days. Some of them were going crazy due to hunger. They were ready to eat anything. That's why the rest of them allowed them to eat the dead. Then some people went out. They start eating the flesh of the dead from pieces of glass. And now only 5 people were there who did not want to eat the flesh of the dead, because they believed that we cannibals will never become terrorists. In fact, they would rather die. After a while, they found a bag in the snow. When they checked inside, they found a radio. They used their brains to make an antenna there. And now when they heard the radio, they found out that the government had sent more than 60 planes to find them. But none of them succeeded in finding them. So the government thought that the plane was destroyed and all those people died. Hearing this, they become very sad. Here their courage was responding. Now the remaining 5 people have to survive by eating flesh. Because after hearing this, now all those people knew that no one was going to come to save us. After a while, 3 boys left again to find the last part of the plane. After a while, they found a broken window. Some corpses also. While walking, because it was night, they try to sleep. But they can't sleep because there is a snowstorm all night. The next morning when they woke up, they were completely covered with snow. Now they were alive, but the condition was very bad. One of them was not visible, while the rest had become very weak. So now those 4 people came back down from the cabin. Seeing this terrible sight, the boy who had not eaten meat yet also eats meat quietly. Continuous storms were also coming. But these people sit inside the plane and start talking to each other so that they can have a good time. But during their conversation, there was a heavy snowstorm. A lot of snow got inside their plane. The whole plane is covered with snow. Outside, people dig snow and start pulling their companions down. In a short while, all the people came up. But a poor woman who was buried very low, she dies there. And now people hear a dangerous voice, understanding that once again a heavy snowstorm is going to come. And now seeing it, once again a terrible storm takes them in its embrace. This time also a lot of people are buried in the snow and die. A boy whose name was Numa, he gets very angry. Getting out of control, he starts breaking the windows of the plane, which did not do any good. But a piece of glass gets into his feet and legs. But still he did not stop. He did not have the courage. He kept breaking the snow like this. Then on the 20th day he made a hole there, through which the remaining people come out. After coming out, they met each other. In this happiness that thank God we survived. Numa sees that the place where the cut was on my foot, I am not in pain there, because his foot was completely numb from the cold. Slowly the weather changed. And these people were successful in removing the snow from the whole plane. Now once again they decide to send some people for help. But those people who had gone to the first mountain, some of them were still in very bad condition. A friend's lungs were filled with water. He was having trouble breathing. So everyone together gave him CPR. Means he tried to breathe. But there was no use, because of which he also died. And the letter he had written for his parents, he also kept it carefully. On the 36th day, as soon as the weather opened, Numa and his companion wore a lot of clothes and left for help. But in the middle of the road, Numa falls, because his foot was hurting a lot. When the rest went and checked, they saw that the wound on his foot has become very deep. That's why they decided to take Numa back. But he replied, "No friends, you guys go ahead, I will go back myself." He came back as soon as possible. But his condition was so bad, he was so tired that he fainted as soon as he came. While those people who were moving forward to help, they are very happy to see that the last part of the plane is lying in front of us, which they had finally found. As soon as they saw that part of the plane, they also called their other companions here. They collected all the stuff here. There were a lot of clean clothes, food, and a lot of chocolates. They also get those batteries here, which they put in the plane and try to send signals through the radio. But there was no answer from the front, because the radio was broken, which they thought was right. But when they realized that the radio was broken, they got tired and sat there. Numa's wound was also increasing day by day, which had spread all over his body. Now Numa had given his condition and understood that I don't have much time, I will die soon. That's why he stopped eating, so that my part of the food can eat with me and stay alive. This time they got a lot of waterproof cloth from the back of the plane, in which water could not go. So they somehow made a big sleeping bag by joining it, in which they could sleep easily. Then they heard the news on the small radio that although they have been stuck here for 58 days, but the Air Force is still sending a last plane to find them. With the hope that if these people are alive, then the Air Force will get it. Hearing this, some people said that we have to go up for help. Now Numa says to them in a very sad voice that listen to me friends, if I die then eat me. Because if any of you survive, then my death and the death of our other companions will not be wasted. As soon as he said this he died. He had a note in his hand, on which it was written, "Friends, I have become immortal after dying for you," meaning I am still alive after dying. Hearing these words everyone was very sad. But at the same time, courage was also born in them. Some of their companions leave again for help. And now they finally reach the top of the mountain. But they were very surprised to see that there is still a long journey ahead. That's why they sit here and start thinking. They also thought that we go back. But because they did not want to give up their courage, they decided to go ahead anyway. Now their hard work had brought color. Because after walking for a while, they also get a clean river of water, from which they drink a lot of water and quench their thirst. Then suddenly they saw a man riding a horse for a while. Seeing him they go crazy with joy. She was screaming for help, but the man could not understand her. That's why he throws the paper and pen towards them. Then they wrote their whole story and asked him for help. That man immediately ran away with the paper. He comes to the city and gives it to the officers. Then the rescue team of the Air Force was immediately informed about this, so that they can go to their help. Now that man again comes to Nando and his friend. He took them to his house and feeds them a lot. In a short while, the whole area was filled with reporters, who asked them a lot of questions. Now their companions who were stuck in the snowy mountains, they also hear this news through the radio. When they found out that people are being sent here to help us, they washed their hands and packed all the stuff so that they can leave. And now finally, 71 helicopters came here through Nando and his friend, to save the survivors. Seeing the helicopters, everyone gets up with joy. And in this way, the remaining 16 people were saved immediately. Then they are brought to the city soon, where their family was also patiently waiting for them. Now all those people are very happy to meet each other. After which they were taken to the hospital. Here in the number of thousands, these people welcomed them like heroes, because they did not lose their courage even at the time of so much trouble. So because of their bravery, they came out of there. But this night these people did not sleep apart from each other. Everyone was together, because the shock of that incident was very deep in them. They were not able to come out of it. And they were happy that we tried a little and we were saved. They stood firm that if you want to live, you have to live. Because of which they also lost difficult time in front of them. With which the story of this film also ends here.